Hey guys, look what we got. It's all brand new and shiny. Let's go test it out and see how it does. But quick spoiler alert, I think you guys will be pleasantly surprised, because I was. Hey guys, I know you're here for the outboard review, but you might see that it's on a really good looking boat that we built custom, just like we built all the rest of these. If you want to see how to do these things and get anything you need, it's all at tbnation.net, or you can check any of our local locations in the Southeast and Midwest. We also have a very extensive social media past pretty much everywhere, specifically here on YouTube. If you see any of our videos or content, please leave a like and a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Also check out our Facebook group. It's one of the biggest long-standing groups for this stuff ever. Well guys, this is it right now. This is the bum motor that's causing me all kinds of problems that I want to light on fire. Now I may know how to build a boat, but I don't know crap about how to fix a motor. It takes a specialist, and these are the best guys in the entire region. One of the youngest and only master techs in Arizona, right here in Lake Havasu City. They deal with any outboard from 2.5 all the way to 500 horsepower, but they have a special soft spot for all the fishing guys, which I personally appreciate because they help me with all my outboards. Thank heaven they're here. And this 25 horse is actually shippable. If you order it from them, they will PDI it, make sure it runs perfectly, and then send it off to you. A little bit more of a guarantee versus getting it randomly from like an online outboard place or something. So it's just kind of worth it for the extra quality control. But speaking of quality control, what is this motor gonna do new that the one it's having to replace? It's replacing a Gen 3 Merc with a Gen 4 Merc. Now the Gen 4 15 to 20 horsepower motors were just, everybody loved them, including me. This one looks real similar, doesn't weigh any less than the Gen 3, but the motors themselves are physically very different. You got to do a little bit of research. I think one has less torque than the other, some odd weird shift in the power, but they both generate 25 horse. And it's going to be used to repower this 1648 custom Jon Boat rebuild that I'm doing. This thing is rated for a 60 horse. Most of the time you see 50s, but you can get away with a 25 if you build the boat right. This boat is built to be incredibly light, and I feel that it'll perform extremely well with this motor specifically. We should see anywhere from 25 to 30 miles an hour out of the boat with a reasonable load. It won't handle a heavy load. That's what the 50 would be there for, but I don't think we'll see a tremendous amount more speed out of the 50 if we got one. Then they give you 1.5 quarts. 1.5 quarts, but they give you specifically 1 quart and then another half. That's what it's supposed to do. That sounds great. Alright, it's on, it's tested, it's installed, and ready to go. Let's go ahead and send it. What better time to test it than in the middle of the night when nobody's around? About 10 miles an hour. You're supposed to half throttle it for the first few minutes, like 10 to 20 minutes, to just kind of through the braking process. And then after that, it's half throttle all the way up to 20 hours. Then you do the service, then you can just wide open it anywhere you want to go. But we're not even half throttle right now, we're at 10 miles an hour. We really only need to go a few more miles an hour to actually get on plane. So the fact that it's doing 10 mile an hour on like 30% throttle is really good. It means the park pitch is probably good. Here we go. Let's punch it. It's already on plane right now. I got it through its initial break-in phases last night. Super impressed with the motor. Couldn't wait to put it out in the water today. Carried the boat like a dream. No struggle at all. I mean, it was just me in it, but still, that's very promising. Definitely is going to carry 2 or 3 more people in gear of reasonable weight. This was the right move. I was initially worried because, you know, building so many 16-foot V-hulls and this really being one of the only 1648 Jon Boats that I've actually ever touched, since finding a Jon Boat out here in Arizona is next to impossible. The V-hulls don't perform that well with a 25. It's like they drag in the water more, they're less efficient. I don't know what the problem is, but I was very worried that I didn't at least get a 40 for this boat. But after trying it, I just would recommend a 25 to anybody who wants to have a way more gas efficient motor that's quieter and lighter for way less money and will still perform really well on a boat like this. And I specifically mean that for like Jon Boats of this size. Before we put that Ultrex up there, it had a 45-pound Minn Kota edge, and that thing made this boat fly like 4.5 miles an hour. I'd never seen anything like it out of a 12 volt. Pulled me through the wind like nothing. I had one of my best fishing days possibly ever on this boat. Like an extraordinary day, just nothing but pigs. Yeah, if I was just a primary boater on a boat like this motor would be all I needed. I was able to test it out with my father-in-law, and the two of us rode around. The boat picked us up immediately, had no problem struggling even with the added person, the added gear and weight. Nothing. The only time that it did struggle was when we went downstate to give this boat away to this gentleman. He, my son, and I were in the boat on my other home lake where it is notorious for you needing to pitch down because the motor just doesn't have the horsepower it does on other lakes in lower elevation. And that's the only time this boat really kind of struggled to get on plane, but it still did perform well. And now, having had at least 3 Gen 3 25 horsepower Mercury outboards, I will say in closing that the Gen 4, yeah, it's better. It's a nicer, just cleaner performing outboard. It runs smoother. I don't know what else to say. It's not like the Gen 3 was bad. The Gen 4 is just better. Anyways, that's my review. See you out there.